Okay. All right. So shall we start? Thank you all for coming. Today we're going to share some, I hope, useful information on how to make your speech memorable. Yeah, how to speak publicly and how to inspire. Let me introduce ourselves first. We are here. Kate Beletinsky, that's me, and Kate Chignova Wave, right? We're founders of Start Talk Language School. That is a school that has been operating for over 13 years now in Moscow and online worldwide. On top of that, we have been helping people speak publicly for over 3 years now within the Public Talk project. And today we're going to share a couple of tips with you on how to make your speech memorable. What is TED? What this format is about, and I really hope you will also contribute to our discussion. Kate, a couple of words from you.
Yes. Hi, everyone, those who are here and who will be watching a bit later. The point of today's webinar is pretty much not just about us, it's about you, because we would like to hear some ideas that you may already have. But before that, before we proceed with getting to know each other, it's also important maybe to share a few tips on the format itself, why it is actually different from some classical presentations that we are having every day, and what this all is about. Yeah, so we will kind of exchange information. I mean, your understanding and our understanding, how they match, and how it all may work together, yeah, in future on public talk stage.
Right. But before we proceed with whatever we have prepared for you, we would like to hear a couple of words from you. And I really hope that today's webinar is not going to be a webinar, but I'd rather prefer it to be like a conversation kind of discussion, because we're not that numerous here, and each of you matters. So what I would like you to do is this. I would like you to introduce yourself, right? Say your name and what you do. And then, just for a sparkle of inspiration, I would like you to say why you love what you do, or what do you love about what you do. And finally, why are you here today? Why are you interested in the topic of public speaking? And what are your goals? And basically, what are you looking for today? And in general, why do you care about the idea of speaking publicly? Okay. Artyom, I guess we should start with you, right?
Okay, one more time. Okay, my name is Artyom Bagdashin, and as I told you a lot of times, that I for the last 10 years I help people from I don't know, maybe from business, like managers, entrepreneurs, and other guys who need to increase their level of communication. So I'm working in the field of nonverbal communication because I like it most of all, and I see that how powerful it could be, and what the difference it could create for people. So I help people to make their audience more what the English for permission, not to get permission for communication with the audience, to make them more sensitive to the point which people try to bring to this world, or to their team, or to their partner. I don't care about it. So I like it most of all because I think, and I know that a lot of problems we have with communication. And so when I see how communication could be better and what results you can get when you can talk easily with the people. It doesn't matter, one for one, one for two, one for the audience. And I see that it could be very helpful to this world. And for me, public speaking is the way how can I change this world and this idea, because my mission for me is like to bring freedom of communication to this world, and public speaking is one of the instruments which I can use to spread my idea. That's why I'm here, and I'm here because I like we just get acquaintance with you, and for me it's very interesting. It's very interesting how you work, and it's very interesting, and we are similar in our values, and I'm ready to be like a student today to get something new from your point of view, because we have different way how we come in this point right now. So you have your own experience, I have my own experience, so we can make it richer when we are working together. And that's why I'm here, because I would like to get something new and something useful for me also. That's why.
Thank you.
And thank you
Thank you, Artyom. Thank you very much. What you have said totally resonates with me personally. And well, this is what you have highlighted about the values, because that is exactly like my purpose of giving people the freedom of speech by creating a public talk project. And I believe it's important that people get the right to speak, and they can express themselves, and they can do it internationally, which is kind of the purpose of what we do. So thank you for being on board today, and thank you for being with us. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Eugenia, what about you?
So hi, my name is Eugenia, and I don't have like an official job. I'm only 16. I mean, I know that a lot of people my age do have proper full-time jobs, but at the moment I only have sort of a part-time job working for my mom and helping her. She has a language school, and basically what I do is help write posts for her Telegram channel. And I think it's a pretty sort of good part-time job. But I mean, is it okay if I maybe talk about some sort of hobby, because I don't really have a job?
Sure.
Absolutely.
And Evgeny, I'm actually very interested in some, whether you had any transformation since we met, because you did share already some great ideas that you had in mind. You can share them with us, just, to get our feedback, and probably you have something new. So like hobbies plus things that are within your, areas of interest. So everything you feel like.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be about your job, because you are more than your job, right? And well, whatever you feel contributes to your personality is definitely a good talking point. Absolutely.
All right. Okay. So my main hobbies are at the moment horseback riding, mainly show jumping, and a new hobby that I've recently acquired. It's a little bit maybe unorthodox for someone like me, but it's practical shooting, and I've been really, really enjoying this. And also something that I've been doing for quite a while is acting, specifically theater acting. And I guess sort of to transition into why I want to do public speaking. I mean, I guess I've already been doing public speaking for quite a while now, just in a different form, with theater acting. But I wanted to get in the more sort of academic, professional side of public speaking. That's not just reading out lines or a monologue and acting out, like acting a sort of character, and actually publicly talking about myself and being myself on stage, which is something that I've never gotten to do in acting. And for a while, it's something I never really wanted to do. I remember being in this acting school where our teacher thought that we were not very advanced. Well, most of us, we weren't a very advanced group, back then, and she didn't want us playing characters just yet. She just wanted us to be ourselves in different scenarios. And I remember thinking, I really hated that idea, because I was there to act a sort of character, not to be myself. But after a while, I realized how important it was to actually go up on stage and be yourself and offer something to the public. And then I encountered you, and I thought that this was an amazing opportunity, and I really loved what you're doing. And I loved it even more after I actually went to Istanbul and got the chance to see it all for myself. It was incredibly inspiring, like I said before. So I think that's pretty much the main reason why I want to get into this now.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Eugenia. Thank you so much. Well, you have mentioned acting skills, and acting skills is one of the like the blocks of the course, right? Where people just need to kind of grasp the idea of like how to feel what they need to feel and what emotions they need to convey, well, here or there, or like when they say this thing or that thing. So I guess you will have no problem with that, with the acting part of the public speaking, right? But I totally love the idea that you said, like, okay, I've been acting so much, and now I just want to be myself on stage. That is a cool thing. Right. Kate?
Yeah. I mean, I also understand that, because whenever you are performing on stage very often, and for example, expressing ideas of others, well, that the director wrote, or that your role probably prescribes, just according to scenario or other things, it is a totally different thing. And I'm very happy, Evgeny, that you saw that. I mean, like, you saw that on stage, understand what we mean, by a different format. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let us proceed. And well, here's what we have been doing for the last 2.5 years, the Public Talk project, which is now international. Well, you both know that because you were with us in Istanbul, and that is a cool thing that you joined us here today. So Public Talk project is about revealing your public speaking skills, your public speaking potential, mixed with the acting skills. And thanks to Artyom, we will also work on the non-verbal aspects of, maybe Artyom, maybe you could say like what exactly we will be working on when you will be the teacher of the project, the trainer of the project, because right now Artyom is on board as the trainer. Maybe you could tell us what your be about.
Yeah, we will work on the 3 points. First of all, we are going to work with our own nonverbals, and what can we do with our arms, with our eye contact, with the space, with our movement. Second part, we are going to work on some kind of tricks which you can make with your audience to make them more involved, and then we will work with choreography of choreography of the stage, because Eugenia, she knows that in a theater you need to understand why you are going to this way and what you are doing and what you are going to do in exactly in this point. And so I will show you the easiest way of how you can move on a stage. So maybe I will show you several things. It will be like, I see it will be like a pizza base. Yeah, when we just to understand the main things, where we start, how we're working with, like maybe questions, maybe something else. Where is your zone, the main zone, where you can make a demonstration, where you are talking about your story and what you can do with all this. And then I will put there some ingredients. There will be 7 ingredients.
Don't tell all the secrets for now.
Okay, so we will work with we will work with audience, and we will work with the space. how we can
Right.
create this space for public speaking. I think it will be very useful, and I know about it because I already made this training for a lot of people. Yeah, lots of people and trainers also. So I think it could be very interesting and very useful, and you will see the result immediately. And that's why
Right.
I remember. Yeah.
Great, Artyom. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. We're very happy to have you on board of our project, because every project, well, in every like stream or group, we add new trainers, the ones that we believe could add to the idea. So basically the project will be like this. In the first month, we will be working on the idea. Like we will do multiple tasks and exercises to reveal that idea. Like you will have to do a lot of talking about yourselves, talking about your stories, your life path, and so on. So like you will have to talk a lot about what is going on about you. And well, within what you will be talking about, we will be looking for this great inspirational idea, which first of all inspires you. Like that is something that you believe in. That's something that gives you the sparkle. And that will be the foundation of your talk, because whatever inspires you, whatever gives you energy, can actually inspire your audience. So after we have found that sparkling, inspiring idea, the second month will be about structuring your speech. And that is where me and Kate and Irina Barjak will come in. We will help you with the structure, and we will help you with the language, because well, a public talk in English has certain, well, linguistics aspects about it. In terms of language that you use, there is a certain public speaking style. You may not like be aware of it, but once you start analyzing the actual speeches by TED Talks, you will realize that, well, there is a certain something that they all have in common, and this is called like the public speaking style of English. And finally, in the last stage, well, that will be Artyom's and Dmitry Strigin's well, module. That is when we will work on your body language, your acting skills, your nonverbal aspects of your presentation. And finally, you will ultimately, well, rehearse and go on stage and deliver an inspiring talk, which will be internationally resonating. How does that sound?
Sounds inspiring.
Sounds great. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. So right now we are ready to move on with the content of our webinar. So we promised to share a couple of tips on what TED Talk format is about and why it is so popular and why it is like so inspiring. But before I give you the secret sauce, I would like to hear a couple of ideas from you. So why do you personally love TED? Why do you think, what do you think is the key ingredient of TED Talks? What do you think?
If I may, I think that one of the key features of TED Talks that people love so much is most of the time the personal experiences and the authenticity that the speakers give. I found that a lot of the TED Talks that I used to think that TED was incredibly boring, because the only TEDs that I used to watch were ones from like Harvard and other universities that I watched strictly for educational purposes. And then I found out that there's TED Talks about much more sort of on a broad spectrum about still serious topics that need to be discussed, where you can still learn a lot of things, but it's much more interesting to watch, and you really start to sort of resonate with the person. And so I feel like the personal experience, and when somebody really offers to share this sort of like intimate part of their life with a bunch of people, and also the way that they tell it, very, again, like you said, that we would first find the idea and then we would learn to structure that idea to professional manner. So I feel like those are the key points as to why TED is so popular and we're so infatuated by it.
Great, great, great. Yes, absolutely. Well, every TED Talk has a personal ingredient to it. Absolutely. May it be a scientific talk or educational talk or just a life story. There is always a personal experience there. And that is why that is why it is memorable, because, okay, I can give you all the theory in the world, but if I haven't lived through that, you will not believe me, right? I can share only something that I have lived through or that I have used or implemented, and I know that it works, right? So yeah, there needs to be a personal experience. And yeah, second of all, clearly it can be a variety of topics. It could be astrophysics and just, how my child has been born. You can learn a lot from all kinds of people through TED. And definitely structured idea, yes, like what is the beauty of the format is that it is a short speech, very concise, very precise, very well structured. And yes, there is a secret to it, to the structure that we will share within the course, not today. But basically, once you learn how it is done, what is the secret of the structure, you will basically be able to structure any speech that you will give whenever through your entire life. Thank you, Eugenia. Artem, what do you think are the key ideas, the key points that make TED Talk so powerful, so inspiring, and so popular, right?
For me, I know TED like a lot of years, and I think that it was just my opinion. Yeah, it was very powerful several years ago. It was like crazy.
A revolution in public speaking, absolutely.
Yeah. And now I see that like stand up, make the same, but in very funny way. Yeah, make the same, but very funny way. But for me, I don't like stand up. Really, I'm not going on this. For me, this format is, as you already told, it's short, and you can say like clever things with simple words. It's very, I like it, and I like that you may when I was on the Start Talk conference last Saturday, when I came back home, I had one idea after speeches, and I had this idea, and I start talking about this idea to everyone, and I see how it works and how it could change your mind. And most of all, after this conference, I have my own insight, and it brings me like to the next level of thinking. So and now I had this problem inside before, and now I see how I can solve my problem right now because of these several ideas. And I understand that your speech really could change something in this world, and we have a lot of problems, and you really need to I need to talk with the people. So this format, after like stand-ups, I didn't get so much ideas. Okay, like he talked with his wife or he talked with somebody. It's like very narrow space for me. When you talk like that, you can make it worldwide like this.
Great.
So
Great.
it's just it's just my opinion.
I'm very happy, Artem, that, well, even though we are not TED, but we'll still a public talk conference and a public talk project, but well, we are guided by the ideas which, well, TED promotes, right? And I'm very happy that after one conference, you have changed your mind, you have found a way. And I believe that this is the most meaningful effects that, well, we were there to make, right? To give a gift to the audience, and it's great.
Yeah. Can I add something?
Sure.
Yeah. For me, when you are listening to somebody and this speech made very good, when you're listening, your mind already made something. You can agree with it, or you cannot, or you can disagree. But your brain made a great job to understand: are you agree, or you are not agree? So you already changed, because to make this point that you are not agree, your brain already made some work, and you already changed. You will never be like same.
Right.
And that's why you cannot do like bad talking. You can, because people anyway you will already change their mindset already. So
great. Thank you, Artem. Thank you so much. By the way, let me welcome Kate. Hi, Kate. Thanks for joining us. Actually, we're just about to dive into the format of TED, right? So you haven't missed much. We were just doing a little bit of introductions at the beginning. So we have tapped into the idea of TED and what you believe makes it powerful. And I'm happy that the conference that we gave last Saturday really changed some of the mindsets and some of the the way of thinking of our audience, which are here today, and that makes me very proud and very happy. So today we're going to share a couple of ideas in terms of what makes TED Talks powerful. And as we explain them, I would like to be giving examples from the talks that our participants of Public Talk Project have given. So the first thing about a powerful talk, TED format, TED style talk, is very simple. Every talk is just about one idea. And I guess that this is what makes it different from most conventional talks that you get to hear in conferences, where speakers would jump from one topic to another topic, giving this, tips on this, tips on that. Well, here it's different. It's not about the number, it's about the quality. It's not about, how many ideas I'm ready to share, but that is about how deeply I want to share just one idea. And I guess that is what makes it different from most conventional talks that you may hear in conventional audiences. Chris Anderson, in his book, he described it as a through line, which is like a thread which connects everything that you're speaking about. Like you have one key idea that you want to convey, and whatever images you're using, whatever stories you're using, whatever arguments you're using, that revolves around just one idea. For example, if you remember, Eugenia, you, Artem, you remember that from the previous conference. Well, Kate, you were not in the conference, but let me share that with you. One of the participants, actually, she's the winner of the conference, and she had a very simple idea. Even when it seems like what you have been doing is useless, you need to keep in mind that it will eventually pay off. That was the idea. And the way she structured her speech was revolving around that idea. So she described an experience where she was struggling. Then she described an experience where all the things that she had been struggling for were useless. And finally, she finished it up with 2 stories, which actually showed how all those 10 years of her struggling to learn to master things that didn't work eventually paid off in her job, in her project, in her being useful with her colleagues. So the idea was like this. Again, even when it seems like what you've been doing is useless, you need to keep in mind that it will eventually pay off. Simple idea, illustrated by the experience and 4 stories of the speaker. But the key idea here is that this one idea is usually very easy to share. Like right now, I have shared that idea with you in just 1 sentence. And this is how you can check yourself. If your idea that you're conveying on stage needs like 5 minutes of talking and explaining, that is not a TED Talk. If your idea can be summarized in just 1 or 2 sentences, it will be easy to share. It will be easy to convey. And more people will be ready to share that. So a simple idea that is easy to share, illustrated by stories, examples, arguments, and so on and so on and so forth.
I just want to draw a parallel here, guys, if you don't mind, that there is a very famous format that is called like Toastmaster, and or a second option is open mic. So the principal difference is exactly here. When you are doing Toastmasters or when you are giving a spontaneous talk, you are pretty much expected not to focus on one idea. You are expected to be kind of exactly yesterday. I could see that myself, how it was working here in New York. What was that? Yeah. And so, And so like pretty much they, for example, cover a short talk for 3 minutes on one topic, then they just rush into the other, then they rush into the other, making it kind of catchy and fun, but without any big concept. That's the point. That's how you can be natural, and that's how you can improvise. Yeah, because improvising around one topic for 15 minutes is literally impossible. Yeah, you're gonna die out. So TED does focus on one idea, unlike other formats that are also about public speaking, but they are not, they are quite the opposite. I just wanted to add that in that moment, because very often people ask what's the difference, between Toastmasters clubs that are so popular in Europe and everywhere, and TED format.
And I guess that is the difference with the stand-up. So TED Talk is about one idea, which dives very deeply into the person's experiences, right? Or arguments or images or stories that they share, while stand-up is about making, telling multiple stories and providing this kind of, multiple impression on the audience. Thank you, Kate. Thanks a lot. Yes, let's move on with the second one.
Yeah, and that's probably exactly my part. Yeah, so here the point is that whenever you are talking, and that's probably one of the most common mistakes of young speakers, it's not about you as a speaker, but it is about the audience. And believe me, it is very hard to change the focus, because once you start diving into your experience, feeling all the energy, all the pain, or vice versa, excitement that you had while you, for example, went through some hard moments of your life, or vice versa, super exciting moments, because, sometimes speakers are crying on stage. Yeah, they are like feeling happy on stage, but still, whenever you are doing that, always remember that this is not drama, this is not theater, yeah, but that is a TED Talk, and that means that your audience should always stay connected, and that's why in your speech there should be a reason for them to care. So like during our program, we have like, it's my part where we discuss very like clear concept. You know, probably Kate, can you give me the screen for a sec? I just want to show it a bit differently. So, you know, clear concept, I'm sure, Tom, you are familiar with that, but let me show it for everyone. So like, pretty much we understand that every audience, yes, and now when we have experience with dealing with international audience, we felt it directly. Every audience, let's say they have their pains, right? So what they expect, what actually concerns them, and what doesn't concern them at all, yeah? And a speaker with his or her talk is pretty much coming with these gains, some insights, some experiences, some story to tell, yeah? Some maybe recommendations and stuff like that. And the thing is that if pains and gains are apart, they are like far from each other, the audience may feel literally nothing. So if I come to you ladies and gentlemen right now and say, so do you know how hard it is to be a mom of a 6-year-old daughter?
Oh, that resonates with me.
Evgenia, does it resonate with you very much? Probably not, yeah? Kate, how about you? Does it resonate with you?
Of a son, yes.
Okay, of a son. I don't have a son. I said a 6-year-old daughter. Artyom, how are you being a mom of a 6-year-old daughter?
Resonate very much.
You have a daughter? Or you are joking? You have a daughter. Okay, well.
I don't have.
You don't have. Okay, that was a joke. Okay, sarcasm. So that's what I'm saying. Offering our gains should be relevant, yeah? And giving the reason to care to the audience is not an easy job, yeah? So through our experience, we should be able to kind of, you know, if I link it, we should kind of try to build not one bridge by asking this very kind of direct question, like, do you know how it feels to be a teenager eating unhealthy food? Remember, Evgenia, the topic that you shared with me? We are kind of sitting, probably we don't know what it feels like to be a teenager and eating unhealthy food, yeah? So the question you are kind of asking the audience may be totally kind of lost, yeah? And that's why we try while preparing your talk, we try building several bridges so that we can reach out to the audience. We can find some idea. Okay, one idea may be not shared. Maybe there are other, like, you know, these sub ideas, kind of subtitles of our talk that will be shared by the majority, maybe not by everyone. This is pretty much impossible, but at least by somebody. So pretty much if we go back, yeah, to our presentation, we always, when we're preparing, we think that it's not about us. We think, okay, what they will take, what I want them to do, what I want them to take after my talk. Okay, I survived this. Okay, I understood how to live a healthy life. Okay, I managed to cope with my fears and dive into them. What do I want them to do? Do I want them to immediately jump from the cliff in the ocean, or what do I want them to do? Yeah, so you always keep that in mind, and we have a special training that helps, you know, to kind of take it out from you, from real you, like what call to action you gonna have in your speech that will be directed to the audience and that will give them reason to care after you finish your talk. Pretty much that's about it.
Right. Thank you, Kate. Thank you so much. And basically that kind of is linked to the first idea. Yes. Why is it deep? Because if I give just one example, it may not resonate with part of my audience. But if I give multiple images or multiple stories or multiple arguments, that will cover like a wider audience that I speak to. Right. So the next idea is this. Both Eugenia and Artem, you both mentioned one thing. We can learn a lot of things from TED Talks because they are kind of simple. And it is true. Because in fact, you can learn like from these renowned professors who are doing research in super sophisticated areas, but they will deliver their ideas in a very, very simple way for anyone to understand. Why? Because they would explain it in such a way that will be easy for you to grasp. And one of the keys here is this, right? Is to explain your idea based on something that people already know. Okay? So for example, if I have to explain what management is about, right? So, okay, some of you may know what a manager is and what management concept is about, but if I just give the idea of a company as a family and a manager as a parent, where employees are like children, you can kind of understand what a company is about and what management is about, because I used a familiar analogy with you, and you kind of realize what the relationship is between the parent and the children, same as, well, the manager and their employees. So the idea is like this: don't make it too complex for nobody to understand. It's the opposite. Make it simple and use familiar concepts for everyone to understand. For example, if you remember in the conference that we had, one of the participants was describing her experience, like changing her job, becoming an entrepreneur, becoming a freelance teacher. And she described the ELT market, it's called ELT market in our area, as an ocean full of piranhas. What she meant is that, well, it's like the market, the ELT market, the market of English teachers is full of so many teachers who are so great and impressive with their methodologies and techniques and so on. And they're like piranhas who are ready to cut your finger off simply because you're not that great as they are. You can easily understand the analogy of an ocean full of piranhas, and that gives you the idea of what ELT market is about, right? So the idea is like this: don't try to make it sophisticated and complicated to show how smart you are. It's the opposite. Make it super simple for everyone to understand exactly what you're speaking about. And that is one of the idea of TED Talks. Maybe like once you watch them again and again, you will see how they do that. They never say any complicated things. On the opposite, they will explain difficult things, complicated things in a very, very simple way.
Yeah, we also have a part of a training devoted to that, where we are learning to find analogies for complex ideas, because when you have prof deformation, and I mean that when you are like in your area for some time, you think everything is clear. Yeah, like it's absolutely clear that everybody knows what, I don't know, ELT world is. If I speak about my area, when I say everyone from ELT knows la la la, who knows ELT abbreviation?
I know.
I've heard of it.
Okay, Evgenia, probably you must know if your mother is a language school owner.
Yeah, I've heard her talk about it, but I don't like 100% know exactly.
Yeah. Or Katerina, maybe you, are you from ELT world or not? Katerina, we lost Katerina. So pretty much I'm saying that whatever you think is clear is never clear. And they always recommend you talking to your grandma, or if you are already a grandma yourself, then you can talk to your son or grandson, yeah, and just check it out, like whether it works, yeah, whether your ideas are clear. Because if you, for example, when we were preparing Svetlana with your propaganda topic, she did that. She told her story to her nephew, and he was like, what? I don't understand anything, yeah. But like when she made it easier and she just explained, look, when someone tries to really brainwash you, to kind of take your brain and wash it together with your trousers, with your panties, how do you feel? Bad. Do you want it to happen? No. And so she started to, you know, the same concept, she started to lower to the level of ordinary audience. So that is an art, to find analogies that will work. Ocean of piranhas is clear even for kids, because they all go to certain aquarium, right? Like they understand that piranhas are kind of dangerous, yeah? Or, I don't know, Irene has great analogy that, for example, whenever I'm kind of walking in some dark glasses, yeah? What do you know about me if you don't see my eyes, yeah? So my candidate is the one whose eyes you see all the time. So he's really worth trusting. So instead of saying that this guy is bad and this is good, you use, for example, the method of, you know, dark glasses, kind of taking them on and taking them off. And a lot of analogies that may really help you shorten your idea, not to explain too much, yeah? Just with the help of one very colorful concept, and we're gonna find several of them for your topics. Because again, as I said, that's really not easy, and you always have to check it out, because you may think it's easy, but you may have just classical prof deformation. It's all the time like that.
Right. And finally, the key idea, Kate, that one was your part.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I added to just that part to make it a bit clearer with an example. And yeah, just the last one is about making it worth sharing. And by that, we mean that, again, every time there will be something that people will take. And that's why this group format sometimes is amazing, because you may always check it with your colleagues, with your group mates, just like, you know, does it work? Does it make sense? Yeah. Well, like, and sometimes they honestly tell you, what are you trying to say? And, you know, again, about TED, when we first had that session with TEDx organizers, and they said that, you know, classical managers or just classical people, they are sometimes so energetic, they're talking, using whatever, after Artem's training, using body language, you know, like this, all gestures possible, yes, in the world. But when I ask them, what do you really want to say? Well, that my company is amazing and I really believe in my product. What do you really want to say? I really want to say that I want to go home. I'm sick and tired of this stupid job. I want to go to my family and I just want to relax for like 2 weeks. And she says that TEDx is about this real energy. It's like about what you really think and not what you have to say on stage being here, you know? So that should be something that you truly want to share, because what happens when you kind of feel that you are changing naturally. You are not changing because you control your body or your mind, but because your ideas, real ideas, start controlling you. I mean, like, you relax, you kind of probably a little bit breathe out, and you say the truth on stage. And yes, it is still nervous, but the point is that it is less nervous when you believe in and you share your idea, and that's why your audience kind of unites with you. And there were probably last example, the idea that became kind of viral after our conference. It was about it's okay not to have an opinion. It's like now everywhere, really. But you know, Sveta rewrote your text 20 times. And she was going into crazy details as a text analyst. She was bringing every time new examples. And at some meetings, we were sitting with big guys and just kind of, what are you talking about? We understand nothing. What do you want from us? We are not media analysts. What do you want? And she just said this once when we really kind of killed her brain. And she said, I just want to explain to you that it's expensive to have your opinion. You just need to be an expert.
Yes, that's the one, right?
So sometimes it is born really with pain. But then when it is really born and you kind of catch it, you will never forget it. I mean, it will be with you, and all your kind of thrills, if I can call them like that, they will be built around this, big concept that you deep down truly share, not because you have to say that your company is the best, or that you are the best expert in this or that area, or blah, blah, blah. So we take off masks. Yeah, we are being true selves. Not everyone is ready, by the way, for that. Yeah, it's a reality. But those who are ready, they finally get to prepare these talks that, that have no borders. That's our big goal.
It's right. And actually, this is exactly what Artyom said, right? Like he keeps rolling that idea about, well, I don't have to shape my opinion. I don't have to shape my opinion. And that totally corresponds with everything that we have talked about today, right? It's about the through line, one idea, very clear, very simple, easy to convey and easy to share. And that is why it is so powerful. It's easy to tell that idea, to tell anyone about that idea, that concept, and that is how it becomes viral. Simply because you, having heard that, start being an advocate, an ambassador of that idea, and that's it. It just goes viral. And by the way, like Kate said, not everyone is ready for that. And actually, like with the Public Talk project, it does not have a happy ending guaranteed. So every time we have people who don't make it to the stage, and that's okay, simply because, not everyone is ready to dive dive deep down into themselves and be earnest, be sincere with their thoughts and their ideas and their audiences. So, here's the book that I recommend everyone who arrives upon the TED Talk path. And pretty much everything that we have been talking about is told also by Chris Anderson. It's a great book which gives you insights into actual TED Talks, which you can then watch and analyze. So this is like the Bible that we use, in the Bible that we preach, pretty much. And definitely when you are part of our project, that is exactly what you will be guided by. Well, last but not least, it's also one of the key ideas that we would like to share today, because, understanding whether you're a giver or a taker before going on stage is very essential. And let me show you that video that I wanted to share by an amazing person, amazing speaker, Simon Sinek. I'm like his major ambassador and major advocate, because I love everything he does with all my passion and all my heart. Let's watch a little bit, and I would like to hear from you what you think that is about.
What do you tell people when they ask you, how can I present like you? How can I get better?
The thing that really, really helps is I've learned about the perspective to change my perspective. So for example, I show up to give, and I always remind people that the most important thing about being an effective presenter, an effective speaker, is you have to show up with a giving attitude. You have to show up to give. You know something, you've seen something, you've done something, you've tried something that someone else thinks others need to hear. That's why they invited you to speak. The problem is the number of people who show up to take, to get. And you can see it, it's very plain to see. People ask a question and they say, you'll have to buy my book. Or you could just tell me the answer because you know the answer because you wrote the book, right? But clearly they're trying to drive book sales. It's a taking mentality. Every single slide of their PowerPoint has their Instagram, their email, their website, their Facebook. Well, clearly they want you to follow them. They want you to reach out. The last slide is their website and their email, right? They have a taking mentality. They come up and the first thing they do is tell you their credentials. Hi, my name is, Dr. Blah-de-blah. I have 6 PhDs. I've worked for 55 companies. I advise CEOs and generals. And let me tell you a little something. It's about them. It's very easy and very quick to discern who's the giver and who's the taker. The best speakers, 100% of them. You look at all the top 10 folks, Sir Ken Robinson, Amy Cuddy, Brene Brown, right? Dan Pink, all of them. All of them are there to give. None of them want anything from anybody, not even your approval. No, I don't know any great speaker that stands in the backstage that goes, I'm gonna get a standing ovation. You may get one if you earn it, if they decide that what you have given them is of value, but that's not the reason you show up. You show up to give.
So what is there for you? How do you understand that?
That was definitely very, very powerful, very inspirational. And I definitely agree with that. I feel like you can definitely sense when someone's there just to promote a product or a company or something like that. And I feel like, again, going back to the personal part, it takes away the authenticity of the speech. And it also, I feel like if you're writing for somebody, you are much more likely to really open up and to really give something to someone. So overall, it just makes your speech better. Be a giver, I think, probably. So, I mean, thank you for sharing that video. Do you mind sending a link to the?
Sure, absolutely.
Very
Absolutely.
interesting to watch the whole thing.
You're very right. You're very right, Eugenia. Sometimes when, in fact, sometimes when we just give, in fact, people, well, that is actually what drives sales. I mean, it's
probably, Kate, that's why we stopped selling, because we are giving too much. Just giving and giving and giving. Yeah.
Yes,
it
right.
was a joke, sorry, internal joke.
It's Kate's pain. Right. Well, I'm a giver and I'm there to give, and that is what Kate tells me all the time, like, you're giving too much, you need to start taking. But I honestly believe that okay, you just need to be there to give, and it will eventually pay off one time in life. Yes, Artem, how did you understand that?
I agree with Kate. Sometimes we give too much, and this idea is looking very, very like people loving way. But I see, as I see in this world, and as I see in bloggers world and another, that people who are not selling nothing, they sell nothing. You can give a beautiful ideas for everybody, but the main thing that it depends on if it's your job or if it's just your, you want to show up. It's your passion or your need. So we need combine it also. I'm sure for when you are going to the TED conference, you just share your idea. If you are going to use it in the world of sales, you need to sell. That's what I mean. So we need to separate things.
Yeah, divide it.
Yes. Yeah. For example, when I do some speeches on the stage, like your conference, I don't want to sell. But if I'm going, for example, in exhibition, and I would like to sell something for companies, something for their managers, I need to sell the idea that they need to give me some money to help their managers to do something. Because it's also about give and take. I think that everything has its time. If we are talking about TED, okay, it's always only about your idea. It's not about you, your business, your money. It's only about your idea. So we need just separate these things. I think this is just my opinion. This guy was very, like, when I'm listening him, I have like feeling, okay, I need to give, but I know I'm 10 years in a way of education. You know, I was working all kind of companies you can imagine, like Tele2, Rostelecom, Sberbank, Raiffeisenbank, and other. And I can say, like, if you are working with them, you need to sell. If you are working with the general people and you really want your idea spreading, this is the best way. It's not for sales. It's just about ideas. And
well, you know, actually, I bought all the books by Simon Sinek, even though like he never sells. But I believe that this is the passion and the idea and the inspiration that he shares, and that is what makes you want to be part of it.
who is your audience? And this is the way how he sells to his exactly his audience. If he don't know about values, you tell him values. That's all.
Right. So guys, that is pretty much it for today, for right now. Well, what we wanted to announce today is that we're going to start our new public talk project in April, and that is going to last from that is going to last from the 29th of April till the 2nd of July. And the performance will be staged in Istanbul in September. We have 6 places available right now, with a new trainer of Artem joining us to help us with the non-verbals and everything. So, well, pretty much that is pretty much it for right now, right? Or Kate, you would like to add something?
Yeah, we're gonna, of course, have a talk now after the meeting. I think we can stop the recording for now. Just, yeah, as we are